Welcome to the Valhalla Filmcast, a show where normal guys talk about the films that they love. And here are your hosts, Bryce Thompson, Brian Hammond, and Cody Ryrie. Now get ready, because the show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Valhalla Filmcast. I am Bryce Thompson, and I am here with Cody Ryrie and Brian Hammond.
Bonjour.
Hello. I've got a low voice today. Cold, congestion. 'Tis the season.
'Tis. So, we are all stuffed from Thanksgiving. Hope everyone enjoyed it. The Valhalla Filmcast took a little break, but we are back full force, ready to give you any information that we can find on movies. Because we live in Idaho.
Yes.
So,
and it's hard to talk with food in your mouth. So that's why I had to take a break.
True. So, we're calling this show that you already know what it's called because you've clicked on it. The Leftovers Show. It's kind of a leftover show. It's kind of featuring dessert as well. You know, you're eating leftovers, but then you're also looking forward to some dessert. We're going to talk about movies that we've recently watched that we really liked, that we want you to know about, to go and see. And then we're going to talk about movies that we're excited that are coming up by the end of the year. It's getting to be that time of year where award shows start looking at movies, and you know, the big movies start coming out, so it's really exciting. And so let's talk about this. I'll start because my movie I feel is the silliest out of the bunch. But I saw Sausage Party just recently. Sausage Party, as you've been told, actually both of the movies that I'm going to talk about are movies that people would take their kids to that they should not take their kids to. I watched both of them. Deadpool is the other. But Sausage Party, it's a movie about some hot dogs that they believe that humans are gods, and when they leave the doors of the supermarket, they believe that they've gone to the great beyond, and that humans like love them and take care of them, and like it's a wonderful place. But really, we eat them. And so it's the sausage's discovery of that the great beyond is horrible and not a great place. And to be honest with you, I was slightly disappointed with it.
Really? That's interesting. Because you've been talking about this one for a while.
Because it looks absolutely hilarious. I mean, it has Edward Norton. He's one of my most favorite characters. Or actors. He's not even a character. Really, he's a real person.
He's a character.
But it just seemed it was like too crude. And I mean,
really?
Yeah, I was like, it was like too much.
Is it because you're a father now, Bryce? Is that why?
Maybe. I'm old. I'm old now. It's disgusting. But I was just kind of like, it's almost too much, and it was just too silly in a way. And I mean, I don't really know what I'm expecting from a movie called Sausage Party, like made by Seth Rogen. I mean, really, what am I expecting out of this? But it was just almost too much. Maybe if I rewatched it, I might think it's a little more funnier. Maybe take my expectations a little lower. But it was okay. And I'll just move on to Deadpool real quick. Deadpool, I watched it. It was good. I liked it. Definitely not a kid's movie. And that one seemed almost like opposite of Sausage Party. Like, everyone said it was really bad and really horrible. And I was like, yeah, it's bad. Like, don't show your kids it. But it's nothing like everyone was like freaking out about. So I guess maybe since Deadpool was like the first bad rated R superhero movie, everyone freaked out. But yeah, so I thought Deadpool was a good movie, but
we should mention that you have a vendetta against Marvel too.
Yes,
so
yes, I
this
do.
is not, this is you saying you liked it. It was pretty good. Is quite the endorsement
It is.
from you. I mean, it's like an Israeli saying, "Yeah, Palestine's all right. It's not bad. It's pretty."
Well,
so
well, I don't want to say that it's like, because it's not. I'm not giving the mothership my approval. They make fun of like Marvel and talk about how stupid it is in the movie. So it would be like, I don't know, like your country. I can't.
well, and
give
it is
that
a little
analogy,
different
but
because it was made by Fox. It was not made by Marvel Studios.
yeah,
So it's the same people who are doing all the X-Men movies. It's part of the X-Men universe, and so in the comic books, it's a Marvel comic.
yes,
But
yes,
those
it is.
characters
yeah,
are
yes.
owned by Fox. So it's kind of a kissing cousin of the thing you hate so much. It's
It
not
is.
exactly the same thing.
And so, and I guess I liked it because it was making fun of it. Ryan Reynolds is really good in it. And, they just kind of make fun of the whole superhero universe and like how stupid it is. And I think that's funny. One negative, I did remember one negative, is he goes over to the X-Men and he's like, hey, what's going on? Like they keep trying to recruit him and stuff, And there's only 2 X-Men you ever see in like the whole thing. And so I was kind of disappointed by that, because if you're going to have like a bunch of people, like a bunch of other superheroes, like don't just have some stupid lame people that no one's ever heard of,
Well, I heard, because I haven't seen the film, but I heard that they make a joke about that.
I
That
think
he says
they do.
something like, is the mansion always empty? Do we just not have enough money for more than 2 X-Men or something like that? So
Yeah, they do poke fun of it, and I think that's really good. But by the end of the film, it got kind of annoying because you only see those 2 people, and then there's only like 2 main bad guys, and so it was just not a lot to like work with. So that was my only negative, and it's not even that big of a negative, but
it made a ton of money. I mean,
yes, it did.
It made more money. I want to say it made more money than The Passion of the Christ. I'm not sure about that.
I think
It
you're
should
correct.
be checked on.
I would,
But because I swear I heard Ryan Reynolds bragging about beating Jesus, so I'm not sure.
he probably did. And see,
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is pretty hilarious, so he probably did. But yeah, Deadpool. I would see Deadpool over Sausage Party. If I had to recommend one, Deadpool over Sausage Party.
Here's some interesting news about Deadpool 2 that we've been hearing recently. Is I think the director, he was a first-time director. He's more of a visual effects guy before that. I think his name is Tim Miller.
Uh-huh.
And he has exited Deadpool 2 over creative differences with Ryan Reynolds.
Really?
So, yes. They apparently were a very tight team in the first one, and now the first rumblings of trouble on the
Very interesting.
I bet you money's involved, right?
Yeah, I mean, the first one was so successful. I know the studio's begging for another one. They're planning on it, but there has been some issues so far, and it will be a different director than the first one because he is gone.
Huh.
Well,
So, yeah.
I wouldn't say that's necessarily a horrible thing. Like, who knows?
We'll see. We'll see. You
Those
never know.
are I guess you could say, our highlight of the Kid R movies this year. So, moving on, Cody, some of the ones that you watched.
Yeah,
recently.
yeah. Let's see. In the theater, the newest movie that I saw was Arrival, starring, directed by Denis Villeneuve, the French-Canadian director who did Sicario and some other things that we were really happy with. It's starring Amy Adams, and Forrest Whitaker is also in it. It was a really kind of heady sci-fi film. If you haven't seen it, it's about aliens coming to the planet, and Amy Adams is this language expert, and she's supposed to figure out what the aliens are saying before tragedy strikes and some other country tries to nuke them and all this stuff. So it's a very, very good movie. I really, really enjoyed it, but it's a very cerebral movie. Like, there is some emotional content in it, and some people have been really floored by the emotional content. It didn't get me as much emotionally. It wasn't bad, but it did keep me thinking a long time after it. Something about it keeps it at arm's length for me. I don't know why. But I just couldn't totally embrace it for some reason. But as far as that goes, it was a really good movie and really well made, and lots of dread and build up, and so I definitely recommend it. But I guess I had too high expectations because it had like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes for forever and everything else, and so I'd say temper your expectations. Expect it to be more of a thinking movie, and you'll enjoy it. The next one I saw was Hell or High Water, which is a movie that was written by Taylor Sheridan, who wrote Sicario. So it's his next thing. We got a lot of people doing Sicario moving on. And Jeff Bridges is in that. Chris Pine, he's the new Captain Kirk. And Ben Foster, who is a character actor, but he's a great character actor. He was in Lone Survivor and the new 3:10 to Yuma. He always usually plays a bad guy. Not always, but a lot of times he does.
I love me some Ben.
He's fantastic in this movie. Everybody's great in it. It's really well acted. It's the story of two brothers, Chris Pine and Ben Foster, who were doing a string of bank robberies in Texas in modern day. And Jeff Bridges is the Texas Ranger who's trying to hunt them down. A lot of comedy, actually. A lot of drama. Again, this was one that, like, for some reason I was like, this is really good. It's all really good, but it's not really connecting with me. But then, as I've thought about it, it's really, like, revealed itself as a really intricate and good movie. So that one, at first I was like, I don't know. And the more I think about it, the more I really like it. So that one's on Redbox right now. So if you don't want to spend too much money, you can still watch that one. Hell or High Water is the name of that. And then the last one I've seen, that's a recent one, is Kubo and the Two Strings. This is by a company called Leica, and they do stop-motion animation. They did Coraline. A lot of people saw Coraline. They did The Box Trolls and Paranorman. This is their fourth film. This might be... It's early. I haven't seen a lot of movies. We're going to talk about this. It might be my favorite movie of the year so far.
Really?
It was... Yeah. It was really... Yes, Bryce?
I don't know how.
It's really good.
I haven't seen it.
I don't know if you'll get Bryce to watch an animated movie that's not rated R.
That's good one. No, but when I saw it in the theater, like, I didn't see it. But when I saw the trailers for it, I don't know. It's that good.
Well, I just heard a lot of stuff about it, and when we watched it, just the visuals are incredible. Like, the things they've done with stop motion are insane. Giant 6-foot skeleton monster, or 20-foot skeleton monsters, and huge like samurai fights on boats that are in the middle of a storm, and just all these crazy visuals. And beyond that, it's got a really like creepy strain to it, which I really like. There's a lot of it's a kids movie, so it's not too creepy, but mildly creepy, and also a very like emotionally devastating finale. It is not like a happy-go-lucky. All kinds of horrible things happen, and they don't get all fixed.
That's interesting.
It's really interesting, and I need to watch it again. I got a really good deal on it and the other Leica movies, all in a bundle. I didn't own any of them, so now I'm super excited to go back and watch this company, the rest of the stuff they've done. But we'll see. There's a lot of movies I haven't seen yet, and I need to revisit some. But right now, Kubo and the Two Strings is a front runner. And I didn't even tell you what it was about. It's kind of hard to describe. It's kind of this Japanese influenced. There's some magical quests looking for armor. It's going to sound stupid if I describe it. So just take my advice.
The trailer did that for you.
So that's the last one I've seen recently, and it's my front runner right now for best movie I've seen this year.
That's very interesting, because every single trailer that I've seen of theirs has looked stupid.
That's why it's the only one I've seen. I mean, I've seen Coraline and I've seen that, but I didn't see their middle two ones. So,
like, the Box Trolls looked. Oh my gosh.
We've seen that as a family, but in all honesty, I fell asleep like 20 minutes in. And that's not saying... no fault to the movie. It was just one of those Sunday afternoons,
I mean, if you say it's that good,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I do.
That is interesting.
And Matthew McConaughey does a voice. Charlize Theron is the other main voice.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it worthy of a show? Of a spoiler? Like,
I could do a whole show on it. I have to watch it again. As soon as it was over, I was like, okay, gotta watch it again. It's worth watching.
Really?
And I was just so impacted emotionally by it. Like at the end, I was like kind of drained by the emotion of it. So
that's surprising because the first two you didn't connect with emotionally, even though they were emotional movies, right?
Really good. Yeah, they're really well made, but for some reason didn't grab me as much.
Interesting.
Oh, yep. Before we go on, just wanted to mention that the Valhalla Filmcast has dropped the ball.
Uh-oh.
On Doctor Strange by the Marvel Lover.
Can we just say that Cody has dropped the ball? He's the Marvel go-to guy. Bryce, we haven't dropped anything.
Can I say?
No, I
have
haven't.
Tried to make up for this. I've rewatched Civil War twice in the last couple weeks, so I've gone back to the well. I'm still a true believer.
See, that does not help the listeners. That does not help the listeners.
I'm trying to get to it. It's cursed. I did pick Arrival over Doctor Strange. I will be honest. I had the chance to go, and I picked Arrival instead. So it's on my head. I'll take it.
Okay. Well,
I will see it though. I will see it, and we will review it. I'll find somebody since you two losers won't do it. But, yes.
Anyways, moving on. Brian, we'll talk about yours.
All right.
That you have seen.
Well, I'm going to talk about 3 that I've seen within the past week or two. The first one is just over a year old. It was actually released in 2015, but it's kind of topical where we're in the Christmas season again and just on the heels of Halloween. So, Krampus. And get all your snickering out of the way, okay? Okay, this show you have to take kind of with a grain of salt because, it is exactly what it looks like, the trailer, It's a little, far-fetched, far out there, but it's high production values. It's an excellent film. I like the director, Michael Dougherty. He's the one that did Trick or Treat. Have you guys all seen that Halloween anthology film?
I've heard really good things, but haven't seen it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have not seen it.
Well, he's got some, good stuff in his back pocket, experience-wise. But it's starring, let's see, Toni Collette and Adam Scott are the two names you probably recognize. And but it's just this dysfunctional family. Well, actually, the family's pretty functional, but they invite relatives. It's always the relatives that are dysfunctional, right? And they come over, and this little boy is just so torn up by the bullying that's happening by his cousins, and that he kind of tears up his Santa letter and throws it out his window and summons a festive demon that kind of wreaks havoc on the whole neighborhood. So, it's not, highbrow film by any stretch of the imagination, but my family enjoyed it. We watched it together, and we'll check it out seasonally every once in a while.
Okay for what age would be okay watching it?
Probably my 11-year-old watched it, but I'm pretty more liberal than probably most parents are in that in scary movies. There's no no nudity, no nothing like that. I think maybe one F-bomb, which is the par for a PG-13. So, but it was good. Maybe not everyone's cup of tea, but the second one was The Shallows, and this is the one with Blake Lively. And
yes.
Need I say more? Blake Lively's in it because that's enough, right? Go see it.
I thought she was good in The Town. Sure. That's the only thing I've seen her in, though.
Yeah, she's definitely very interesting.
Yeah. So this is directed by, I'm going to butcher this, and he's Spanish too, so I should pronounce it exactly. Colles Serra or something is his last name, but he's the one that did director of Orphan, let's see, Unknown, Nonstop, those Liam Neeson flicks, and so he has some pedigree as well. House of Wax. So the tension, suspense was pretty well. When I think of shark movies, obviously you compare it to Jaws, and also Open Water from 2003, which a lot of people don't like. I actually liked Open Water. They thought it was too slow, but it's more in the vein of Open Water than Jaws. You've got her stranded out on this rock trying to get back after a shark attack, and that's the premise of the story. So it's very similar to Open Water, actually. And I think I actually like Open Water a tad better, even though the production value is not on the same level as The Shallow. The Shallow is pristine. It's perfect. Cinematography is beautiful. It's got Blake Lively surfing, so that's nice. But yeah, if you're in that type of kind of damsel in distress scenario, then it's a good film to watch. Again, it's PG-13, so it's a family watch for teenagers probably. So you guys, neither of you have seen that, is that right?
No.
Okay.
I've thought it looked very interesting.
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering how it kind of compared to all the other shark attack movies. It sounds like it does a good job.
Yeah, what's the other one? Not Blue
Sharknado?
Crush. No. Blue Crush is a surfer one, but it's not a shark. I don't know. I think this is probably
the one where Samuel L. Jackson gets eaten by a shark underwater. That one?
No. That's not
I've seen that on a video somewhere. Samuel Jackson is yelling, and then a really bad CGI shark jumps out and eats him. So one of our listeners needs to tell us what that is.
No, it's very lifelike. All the shark, everything is very real. It's high production, so it's good. The third film, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and I know you've seen this, Cody, right? Bryce, have you?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Okay, so I'll give a little synopsis, and you can jump in, Cody, if you feel. So if you've seen Cloverfield, the J.J. Abrams film, it takes place in the same universe, right? Cody,
yes,
is that right?
Yeah.
But
yes,
it's not a direct sequel. It's not a prequel. It's a standalone movie, but it's kind of in that same universe, and that will make more sense at the end of the movie. For those who have seen Cloverfield, but it's about this girl that gets in an accident and wakes up in this basement, this bomb shelter, right? And John Goodman is the captor, I guess you could call him, that put her down there. She freaks out, thinking that she is being held captive. But there's lots of twists and turns throughout the whole film, whether she's really being held captive or if he's doing her a favor by keeping her from the supposed either chemical or biological warfare attack. And so it's really kind of keeps you on the edge of the seat wondering, is John Goodman's character, is he legit? Is he really helping out? So I'm not going to spoil anything, obviously, but just one note I do want to bring up is my daughter had not seen the original or the Cloverfield, and so the ending was kind of weird for her, and so that's all I'll say. So if you have seen Cloverfield Lane, or Cloverfield, excuse me, I think it preps you. It preps you for this film.
Okay.
For the ending.
That's interesting.
So.
Yeah. Okay. See, I loved 10 Cloverfield Lane. I enjoyed it more than Cloverfield, which I liked.
I did too.
But I didn't see Cloverfield in the theater. I saw it at home on a really small TV
with little sound.
I think that was a good thing because people apparently have been throwing up like in theaters because of the shaky cam.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those found footage movies. Now, 10 Cloverfield Lane is not a found footage movie. It's a very beautifully shot film, actually. I was a really big fan of it. I love suspense thrillers, and I love John Goodman in an unhealthy way because he's awesome. Anybody who's seen Big Lebowski should be in love with John Goodman from the rest of time.
Yes.
But he is He's so good in that.
He channels some Big Lebowski in this, too.
He does. Yeah. He does a little bit. The ending, like I said, we're not ruining the ending, but the ending didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably because I'd seen the first one.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think we should recommend you watch Cloverfield and then you watch
I'm in the same boat. I loved it, but I was prepped for the ending, and so it didn't detract from the film at all, whereas a few of my family members, it did. So,
I would also like to say Mary Elizabeth Winstead, I don't know how you say it, she plays the main character. She's very good in the movie, too. Did a great job. I think it's a first-time director. His last name is Trachtenberg.
It is. Yep.
Yeah, he did a great job. Recent news on that, Bad Robot, J.J. Abrams' company, is planning, they're going to try and do a Cloverfield movie every year for the next little bit.
Huh.
And so, it can be like standalone, sequels, whatever. We don't know what that means yet, but they did announce they're going to try and keep expanding the Cloverfield universe, and it's going to be Abrams' thing, which is funny because he didn't direct either film, but he produced them. So... yeah, if you're into that, you like the first two, which I did, that's exciting news because Abrams is a creative guy. He runs a good company, so it'd be nice to see because he was always piggybacking. He's always Star Wars, Star Trek, Mission Impossible. This is his own thing, which is kind of cool. So
yeah, that's very interesting.
Definitely worth a watch. 76 Metascore on IMDb and higher on the user ratings, and so. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Recommend it.
Cool. So, now we're going to talk about movies that we're most excited for. But join us on the next show for that. Part 2 of our leftovers. This has been the Vol Filmcast. I am Bryce Thompson.
I'm Brian Hammond.
And I'm Cody Ryrie.
Oh, why did I say that you're Cody Ryrie?
Why did you're taking my identity? What is that?
That's amazing.
The weirdest thing you have ever done.
That is the funniest blooper we've ever had.
Cool.
It wasn't even your Cody Ryrie. It was you said that you were.
So this tells you how many times we've done this before.
I would like some of whatever you're smoking.
Loud.
I'm just hand it over here. That's wow.
Anyways, catch us on part 2. We'll talk to you then.
The following views, opinions, and commentary are the sole property of the Valhalla Filmcast. Any unauthorized reproduction without prior consent is prohibited. Any incidental music, audio clips, or film trailers are used for the sole purpose of film criticism and commentary as allowed under the Fair Use Act.